First reading, a reading from the second book of Chronicles, chapter 24, verses 17 to 25. After Jehoiada's death, the officials of Judah came to pay court to the king, and the king listened to their advice. And they abandoned the temple of Yahweh, God of their ancestors, for the worship of sacred poles and idols. Judah and Jerusalem incurred wrath because of this guilt of theirs. He sent the prophets to lead them back to Yahweh. These put the case against them, but they would not listen. The Spirit of God then invested Zechariah, son of Jehoiada, the priest. He stood up before the people and said, God says this, why transgress Yahweh's commands to your certain ruin? For if you abandon Yahweh, he will abandon you. They then plotted against him and, at the king's order, stoned him in the court of the temple of Yahweh. Thus King Joash, forgetful of the devotion which Jehoiada, father of Zechariah, had displayed on his behalf, murdered his son, who cried out as he died, Yahweh will see this and revenge it. At the turn of the year, the Aramean army made war on Joash. When they reached Judah and Jerusalem, they massacred all the nation's government officials and sent all their booty to the king of Damascus. Although the invading Aramean army was only a small body of men, Yahweh allowed them to defeat a large army because they had abandoned Yahweh, God of their ancestors. Thus they executed judgment of Joash after they had retired, for they left him seriously wounded. His own retainers plotted against him to revenge the blood of the son of Jehoiada the priest and murdered him in his bed. When he died, he was buried in the city of David, but not in the tombs of the kings. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. Reading from the Gospel according to Luke chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up according to custom. And when the feast was ended, as they were returning, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. His parents did not know it. By supposing him to be in the group, they went a day's journey. But then they began to search for him among their relatives and acquaintances. And when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem searching for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. And when his parents saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, Son, why have you treated us so? Behold, your father and have been searching for you in great distress. And he said to them, why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my father's house? And they did not understand the saying that he spoke to them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was submissive to them. And his mother treasured up all these things in her heart.